Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradari Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yashodanandana Vrajajana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharya Ashtotra Sadasri Śrīmad Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Granthara Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki Samaveta Bhaktivedanta ki Thai God Premanande. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories to His Divine Grace Srila Prabhupada. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshatarine. Today we are continuing to read from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 4, Chapter 9, Text 20 and 21. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam tato jayam udirayet nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavati uttamasloke bhaktir bhavati naistikhi. Nanyair adhishtitam badra yad brajishnu dhruva kshiti yatra graharksha taranam jodisham chakramahitam. Nanyair adhishtitam badra yad brajishnu dhruva kshiti yatra graharksha taranam jodisham chakramahitam. Nanyair adhishtitam badra yad brajishnu dhruva kshiti yatra graharksha taranam jodisham chakramahitam. I'll read the 21st verse. Please hear. Medayam go chakravatstasnu parastat kalpavasinam dharmogni kashyapa shukro munayo ye vanaukasha charanti dakshine kritya brahmano yat satharaka. Word to word meaning. Please repeat. Na, never. Anyai, by others. Adhishtitam, was ruled. Bhadra, my good boy. Yat, which. Brajishnu, brightly glowing. Dhruvakshiti, the land known as Dhruvaloka. Yatra, where? Graha, planets. Riksha, constellations. Taranam, and stars. Jyotisham, by luminaries. Chakram, encirclement. Ahitam, is done. Medyam, around a central pole. Go, of bulls. Chakra, a multitude. Vat, like. Stashnu, stationary. Parastat, beyond. Kalpa, a day of Brahma. Millennium. Vasinam, those who live. Dharmaha, dharma. Agnihi, Agni. Kashyapaha, Kashyapa. Sukraha, Sukra. Munayaha, great sages. Ye, all of them who. Vasana Okashaha, living in the forest. Charanti, move. Dakshini Kritya, keeping it to their right. Brahmantaha, circumambulating. Yat, which planet? Sa Tarakaha, with all the stars. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. The Supreme Personality found a central pole. Dhruva wanted the best of all planets and was never given to anyone else. Yet, out of affection, the father offers it to the child. Similarly, this unique planet, Dhruvaloka, was offered to Maharaj Dhruva. The specific significance of this planet is that until the entire universe is annihilated, this planet will remain, even during the devastation which takes place during the night of Lord Brahma. There are two kinds of dissolutions, one during the night of Lord Brahma and one at the end of Lord Brahma's life. At the end of Brahma's life, selected personalities go back home, back to Godhead. Dhruva Maharaja is one of them. The Lord assured Dhruva that he would exist beyond the partial dissolution of this universe. Thus, at the end of the complete dissolution, Dhruva Maharaja would go directly to Vaikuntha Loka, to a spiritual planet in the spiritual sky. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakura comments in this connection that Dhruva Loka is one of the lokas like Shvetadvipa, Mathura and Dwaraka. They are all eternal places in the kingdom of Godhead, which is described in the Bhagavad Gita, Tad Dhama Paramam, and in the Vedas, Om Tad Vishnuhu Paramam Padam Sada Pashyanti Surayaha. The words Parastat Kalpa Vasinam, transcendental to the planets inhabited after the dissolution, refer to the Vaikuntha planets. In other words, Dhruva Maharaja's promotion to the Vaikuntha Lokas was guaranteed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swa Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Uta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Pancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhyahevacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Here we see Dhruva Maharaj receiving what he had asked for. There's one famous prayer which the demigods describe about the glories of Bharatvarsha. There they describe it in such a way that they describe the internal mood of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. It's from the 5th canto, 19th chapter, 27th verse. The translation goes like this. The Supreme Personality of Godhead fulfills the material desires of a devotee who approaches him with such motives. But he does not bestow benedictions upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. However, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at his own lotus feet, even though such a person does not aspire for it, and that shelter satisfies all his desires. That is the Supreme Personality's special mercy. Whenever we describe about the Lord's special mercy, the first verse that comes to our mind is that He takes away. Whenever the Lord shows special mercy, all your opulences will be vanquished. It will go away. I forgot that verse. Do you remember that verse where opulence is taken away? Tasyaham anagrinami harishye taddanam shanai tato ajanam tvadantyasya swajana dukkha dukkita. So whenever we see that the Lord's special mercy means it's coming, so we'll lose everything. But Bhagavatam also gives another viewpoint of what is the Lord's special mercy. Here, this 5th canto verse describes that the Lord fulfills the material desires of a devotee who approaches him with such motives. So it's a kind of encouragement for us to at least approach the Lord, although your initial motive is not completely pure. And that's what is happening here in the case of Dhruva Maharaj. Why is the Lord giving him a separate planet? In Gita we read that the Lord is the seed-giving father. Here, Krishna is a planet-giving father. He is giving a whole planet, and Dhruva Maharaj said, I wanted it, and as a purport describes, it is a childish request. He did not know what he was asking. He was overcome by revengeful feelings against his stepmother, and all that feelings, and that led to inquiry to his mother, who directed him to approach the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And then the intervention of Narad Muni happened, and we also all know the amount of austerities which Dhruva Maharaj went through, and now he is actually seeing the Lord. So when he approached Narad Muni, he made this ambitious statement. O Brahmana, please tell me the correct method for me, desiring the best position in the 3 worlds, which has not been attained by my forefathers or others. This is the ambitious request put forward by Narad Muni to Dhruva Maharaj. Put forward by Dhruva Maharaj to Narad Muni. Now, this is why he is getting it. Now, the Lord is saying, O Prince, O Rajanya Balaka, which comes in the previous verse, yesterday's verse. The Lord is acknowledging, your desire is natural, therefore I will fulfill your desire. Because you are a Kshatriya, you naturally want to rule, your desire is natural, therefore I will fulfill your desire. Now Dhruva Maharaj is scared. Are you going to just give me the kingdom and not give me the love of Godhead? Will you not give me the prema, your own love? The Lord is again saying, oh, all auspiciousness unto you, Badram te. He is describing the previous verse. Do not worry, I'll also give you prema. So nonetheless, he is getting both. So because you have asked for a place superior to that of Lord Brahma, please take that first. Then the next verses will describe the more benedictions by the Lord, and towards the end, the Lord will also say, after you finish your ruling this world, you will come back to Vaikuntha Loka. There the details are given. Dhruva Loka is as good as Svetadvipa, Mathura and Dwaraka. So, to give a clear explanation of Dhruva Maharaj actually go back to Vaikuntha Loka, the spiritual sky, or does he stay in Dhruva Loka itself, which we may seem that actually it is still within the material realm. To clarify that, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur describes that Dhruva Loka is, even though it is within this material world, it is still as good as Vaikuntha, just as Svetadvipa and other places within this material world, even though they are in the material realm, they are still as good as Vaikuntha Loka. So, after Dhruva Maharaj rules, he gets what he wanted. In this material world also, he will be the next king. So, after his father retires, the kingdom will be given to Dhruva. He will rule the kingdom for a certain period, which the Lord will describe as 36,000 years. So, he will rule, and after that, he will go back to Dhruva Loka. So, in that sense, he is getting the kingdom, and also he is getting the at the end of his life he is going back to Godhead, which is to Vaikuntha. So if you see the transformation in the heart of Dhruva Maharaj, from the point of that ambitious claim to ask for a kingdom better than his own grandfather, his heart transformed. And what does he say after seeing the Lord? He says that when he was being blessed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Dhruva Maharaj said, "O my Lord, because I was seeking an opulent material position, I was performing severe types of penance and austerity. Now I have gotten you, who are very difficult for the great demigods, saintly persons, and the kings to attain. I was searching for a piece of glass, but instead I have found a most valuable jewel. Therefore I am so satisfied that I do not wish to ask any benediction from you." This is from Hari Bhakti Subodhaya. The last line is often quoted, "Swamin kritartosmi varam na yache." Hari is saying, I don't want anything else. I am so satisfied that I do not wish to take this benediction from you, even though I had asked for it initially. And that's the same context we can analyze as to how the Lord is giving His own personal audience, darshan, to Dhruva Maharaj. And when we saw that section, when Dhruva Maharaj saw the Lord, how the beauty of the Lord was described, from all the features of the Lord was described, and we also saw the reaction of Dhruva Maharaj. After seeing the Lord, he was so happy and satisfied that he touched the feet of the Lord, he went near Him, he embraced the feet of the Lord, he kissed the feet of the Lord, and all the emotions resulting out of pure love, that and all his bodily symptoms you could see, all that is described, and that actually satisfied him. This is what exactly the demigods were praying. If you ask, is there a proof for this statement, Dhruva Maharaj's pastime is exactly this, fitting the prayers which the demigods are offering, just proving the fact that the Lord is fulfilling the material desires. At the same time, He is also giving something very valuable. So we'll go ahead and read the purport of this 5th canto verse, where Prabhupada very nicely takes us through the transformation which a devotee goes through. And then there is also an interesting analogy that's used. So in this purport, Prabhupada first quotes the famous verse where whether one is full of desires or one has no material desires, one wants to reach his supreme abode, one has to engage in devotional service. Akama sarva kamova moksha kama udarati tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So Prabhupada describes, one who engages in the service of the Lord with some motive is called a sakama bhakta, and one who serves the Lord without any motives is called akama bhakta. Now, even though the motivations are different and they are not pure in the beginning, it does not change the nature of reciprocation from that of Krishna. He is still kind to his devotees, both of them, both the sakama and the akama. Prabhupada describes, Krishna is so merciful that he turns a sakama bhakta into a akama bhakta. And that exactly is what's happening in Dhruva Maharaj's situation. He started off as, in which platform? Sakama platform. And based on the end of the prayers, what does he say? Please protect me from all these material desires. And then the other verse he says, I do not want these, the kingdom that I had asked for. And he reveals the heart, I was so childish, I was asking for a broken piece of glass. But now I've got you, the valuable jewel. So, from a platform of being so attached, so ambitious and wanting a kingdom more than his own grandfather, he has come to the platform of now, my Lord, I'm so satisfied, I don't want anything. And whatever I had asked for, I'm ashamed. Later on, even after the Lord leaves, Dhruva Maharaj will be reflecting and he will feel how foolish I am. He'll be so ashamed and he'll be expressing out of humility. The thoughts will still be going on. So we see that transformation from Sakama Bhakta to an Akama Bhakta. Prabhupada continues. A pure devotee, an Akama Bhakta, who has no material motives, is satisfied simply to serve the lotus feet of the Lord. This is confirmed in the Bhagavad Gita 6.22. Yam labdva chaparam labam manyate nadikam tata. If one engages in the service of the lotus feet of the Lord, he does not want anything more. The Lord is so kind even to the Sakama Bhakta, a motivated devotee, that he satisfies his desires in such a way that one day he becomes a Akama Bhakta. In that purport, Prabhupada quotes Dhruva Maharaj. Dhruva Maharaj, for example, became a Bhakta with the motive of getting a bigger kingdom than that of his father. But finally, he became a Akama Bhakta and said to the Lord, Swamin Kritartosmi Varamna Yache. Now comes the interesting analogy. And because this verse also gets quoted in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 22.42, I thought I'll discuss the internal workings of what's going on in Krishna's mind when he sees such a motivated devotee. What's going on? So, this is how the scriptures are helpful, because we do not know what's going on in the Lord's mind. As far as he reveals we can understand. So this is verse from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela, 22nd chapter, 37 to 39. There it says that Krishna is talking to himself, like, look, this devotee, he is engaging in my service and still he has got some material motives. How foolish it is. Krishna's words, he is engaged in my service, but he wants the benefit of material sense gratification. So what is he giving up? Amrita chadi visha mage. Such a devotee is like a person who asks for poison instead of nectar. E bhada murka. That is his foolishness. Asking for poison instead of nectar, that is his foolishness. But I am experienced. Why should I give such a foolish person the dirty things of material enjoyment? It would be better for me to give him shelter at my lotus feet. I shall cause him to forget all material desires. Vishaya Abhu Laibha, where he is taking away the memory of all the sense enjoyment and the desires, he is going to take it away. Krishna goes on to describe, how am I going to do it? How am I going to take away those desires? How am I going to destroy? Because the concept of dissolution is also, the theme of dissolution is also described. Krishna not only destroys the material world through Lord Shiva and others, but through the process of bhakti and through the Bhagavatam verses, we see that so many destructions are also happening. The famous quote is that the holy name is more powerful than it can destroy any amount of sins that a practitioner can even commit. So here Krishna is going to say how he is going to destroy the desires. He is saying, Swa Charana Charanamrita. So this, by giving my own, the taste of serving me and the taste of worshipping me and the taste of seeing me, and by the taste of serving devotees who are devoted to me, by giving him this taste, I will make him, or I will destroy the material desires in his heart and make him want to be my own eternal servant. So when children start eating mud, one option for the parents is to chastise them heavily and not to give them any food. That's one approach. But Krishna follows the other approach. Acharyas describe that if a parent is giving nice sweet rice to the child and alluring the child to come and eat that sweet rice, he will naturally give up the mud and go towards the sweet rice. And that's what Krishna is here revealing his mind. My feet is like Charanamrit, that sweetness that's emanating from the Lord's feet and his form, and the devotional service, the process in itself is so sweet. By attracting a devotee towards him in that way, and by simultaneously destroying the material desires in the heart of such a devotee, the Lord gives him full satisfaction. And that satisfaction will make him forget whatever benedictions that he initially came to ask for. So Prabhupada goes on to describe in this 5th canto purport, Sometimes it is found that a small child eats dirty things, but his parents take away the dirty things and offer him a sandesh or some other sweetmeat. Similarly, devotees who aspire for material benedictions are compared to children. The Lord is so kind that He takes away their material desires and gives them the highest benediction. Prabhupada, in his own way, he makes this conclusion. So what should we do? Therefore, even for material desires, one should not worship anyone other than the Supreme Personality of Godhead. One must fully engage himself in the devotional service of the Lord, so that all his desires will be fulfilled, and at the end he can go back home, back to Godhead. So here we see the internal workings of the Lord's mind also, how He treats the devotees who are asking for material benediction. He makes this comment as immature children who are asking for poison. Then He reveals, even though they are foolish, I am not so foolish. I am experienced, because I have seen these kind of people many times. So I will not change my nature of being merciful. I will still give them benediction. I will fulfill their desires in such a way that they will not ask for anything more. I'll read that Sanskrit of the 5th canto, 19th chapter, 27th verse. Satyam dishatyatthitam artito nirnam naivartito yat punarartitayata swayam vidatte bhajatam anichitam Ichchapidanam nijapada pallavam. Even though Ichchapidanam, even though you don't desire, Anichitam, I will still give shelter at His lotus feet. Now, we have seen the mercy of the Lord. We have even seen the internal workings of how the Lord thinks when He sees the immature devotee. And we have also seen the benediction which the Lord gives. And further, we have also touched upon how the Lord not only destroys the material world at the time of dissolution, He also, through various means, through the holy name, through Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, and even Bhagavatam describes that the saintly association also kills the materialistic attitude of a materialistic person. When such people come in contact with saintly devotees, their material tendencies are also getting destroyed. Because you have seen so much about the mercy of the Lord, how do we translate this mercy and how do we use this information about the mercy of the Lord, and how do we improve our own spiritual practices? When I started to think in these lines, these these lines of the Lord which induce your emotions and go towards Him, what He is basically trying to do, the Lord is attracting you towards Him. Even though we have intellectual convictions that I am the servant of the Lord eternally, I don't have any other duty, I am always the servant of the servant of the servant of the Lord. Intellectual understanding is there, and then we also try to act in that platform and engage in devotional service. But unless we intensify our emotions when we are doing such spiritual practices like chanting, hearing, reading Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, or doing any other devotional activity like deity worship, unless that emotional attachment is there, rather than doing it in a dutiful devotional service to the point of being naturally attached to the Lord and naturally doing those services, I found that these sections of Bhagavatam which clearly describe the extent to which the Lord is going to help His devotees and revealing the internal heart of the Lord. This will actually, so when we start recollecting, okay, the Lord is so merciful, and then it should translate into it should bring about a sense of, a strong sense of gratitude towards the Lord, whereby we are able to recollect those moments in our own spiritual life where the Lord showed us special mercy. For each person, this is a good exercise to reflect on our own spiritual life where we had special mercy of the Lord, when it was totally unexpected. We felt totally undeserved to receive the mercy of the Lord. When we start reflecting on those experiences, then our emotional side also gets drawn towards the Lord along with the intellectual understanding. See, He is so merciful that a person who doesn't deserve all this, still He is giving me. We can all take a couple of moments to reflect on, there will be so many incidences. Like sitting in the ashram, we get prasadam from various dhams right in our own place. That's when we realize that Krishna provides right at your door. When we are eating the prasadam, this is from Jagannath Puri, this is from Mayapur, this is from Vrindavan, it is coming and it's getting delivered right at your doorstep. Sometimes we may not be able to travel to all those places. At that time, what do we see? Do I deserve this? I haven't seen the Lord, but the Lord is giving me all this mercy. So each one of us, when we are able to reflect and come up with at least 5 or 6 items where Lord has incidences in your own life where the Lord gave you some special mercy, how He was able to remove those desires. You could have approached Him with some material desire, but nonetheless, He is giving His own shelter at His own feet. Even the fact that we are able to come to the temple and take darshan, and devotees who live nearby who take advantage of that, devotees who move from one ashram to the other ashram, they are able to find a job, and they are able to get a job which is not so materially demanding. All these items, and from point of view of Brahmacharis, and the example that I felt myself was, I didn't want to go to Mayapur, but somehow the chance was given. And then it was given at such a point that I was able to go during the occasion of Gaura Purnima. And I felt that I would not even be able to go close to the Lord. But there was an opportunity where you can pay some Lakshmi and you can do Abhishek personally to the Lords. So when I went and joined that queue, the Abhishek was meant to start at 6, but the queue started from 4:30 itself. So I started standing in the line, and I never thought in this big queue, maybe before I reach, the Abhishek will finish, or I was so anxious. But then Jananivas Prabhu, Pankajangiri Prabhu, they brought the deities, and 3 sets of Gaur-Nitai deities were, 2 sets of Gaur-Nitai deities were there. And in the center pandal, the Mayapur Chandra deity and Mahaprabhu's deity in the Panchatattva, the small deities, it was kept in the central pandal. And Prabhupada disciples and sannyasis and others were allowed to go into the central pandal where they can do the Abhishek personally. Others, Prabhus were given a separate section and Matajis were given another section where you can line up. So I lined up in the common thing. So I went, and then luckily I was able to go up to the Gaur-Nitai deities. I was able to contribute in the Abhishek where then I thought I must go back, but then I was looking at the pandal next to where the other Abhishek was happening. There were a lot of security and I was a bit reluctant whether I should go there, although I know I can't go on the stage and do Abhishek. All I wanted was just to be at least close and watch the Abhishek rather than just going away. And luckily, as I was going through, I thought somebody will catch me or I will be asked to go out. Nothing happened, and then I went to the other pandal and I saw the Gurukul devotees, the young children. They were chanting a lot of prayers. I sat along with them. Always I was thinking somebody will call me or somebody will pull me out or somebody will take me off the... Then nothing happened, and then I started to quietly sit down, and then right in front of me, so on the dais was Mahaprabhu, deity, and the Abhishek was going on. And then over a period I thought, okay, nobody will now pull my collar and take me out, and then I started to sit down, and then I started to experience the bliss of sitting right under the feet of Mahaprabhu, and all the Abhishek was going on. And now is the another extra mercy that came, which I didn't expect. Another Brahmachari was sitting next to me. Looks like he was from Mayapur, Brahmachari Ashram. So what he did is, he took an empty bottle and then he went under the Abhishek, the big pot where the Abhishek water is getting collected, and then he collected Charanamrit. And then he came out and then he started giving the bottle to everybody. So there you're seeing the Lord, you're getting his Charanamrit, and then you have fasted for the whole day. I mean, I cannot fast, not even for a half a day, but somehow the Lord allowed me to, and then I just took some buttermilk towards the middle of the day. And then I stood in the queue, and then when this was happening, I was thinking how merciful is the Lord that for an unqualified person, he not only gives darshan, allows you to perform the Abhishek, but also later on sit down and watch the entire Abhishek till the whole point where the Abhishek finished. And then he is giving you right in your hands. You didn't even have to get up to get Charanamrit. The Charanamrit comes to you. Ichchapi, at that time I was remembering exactly the Ichchapi Dhanam Nijapada Pallavam. I don't deserve this, but still the Lord is giving me. And then when I thought, okay, the mercy is going too much. Is there like anything? Is there anything else? But then I still lingered on. But then the security and all kind of lowered, and people started to move, and there was less people right towards the end of the Abhishek. So the main pujaris, they wiped the body of Mahaprabhu, and then they started dressing. So the curtains were put, not full curtains, but I still didn't want to leave the place. I was just standing, and they put the new dress on, and by the time half of the people were leaving, here comes the third mercy. They were putting Mahaprabhu, both the Mahaprabhu deities, in a decorated platform, and then the platform was put in a palanquin. Now, because there are less people now, devotees have to carry the palanquin back to the main altar. So they were looking for people. And because there were less people, they also said, they showed hands. I couldn't believe that they were calling me to carry, as one of the persons to carry the palanquin, because it has to be balanced, and then they have to match, height has to match. So somehow everything fell in place, and then the Gurukul, the main in charge, they usually wouldn't let you in, because when I tried that in Rajapur, when I went and then tried to sneak in and do Abhishek, the Gurukul devotee said, just go away, Prabhu, you can't lift this, move. They just pushed aside. This time I said, okay, the same devotees are there, no way I can go near, but they themselves said, okay, please come, and there's some shortage. So I was able to carry the palanquin and all the way up to the altar, and then it went, the deities were taken off and placed in the main Panchatattva thing. So at that time, again I felt that he was still showering mercy, which I totally did not deserve, from the point of not even wanting to go to Mayapur, to going to Mayapur, and then not even having hope to be in the Abhishek. Still he gave that. And when I felt that, so these moments, I felt that I should be more grateful to the Lord for what He is giving. So we can all reflect on such experiences. We all will have such experiences. It just takes a bit of time to reflect. And when we do this, when we develop this gratitude in the heart and approach the Lord, the services, instead of being done dutifully, can also move towards a platform of doing it with attraction and a bit more spontaneously. So that attitude of gratitude, that's the famous line, it's also very big in the outside world. Even if outsiders are doing it, why not we devotees take few moments to reflect on those moments where we get the special mercy, develop the gratitude, and what this does is it opens up your heart, it makes you spontaneously go towards the Lord and serve Him, and allows the Lord to come into your heart and do all the dissolution, destruction, whatever He has to do, He will do it. He will destroy those material desires. He will cut the hard knot of material attachment. There are so many verses in Bhagavatam, Chidyante, Hridaya Granthis. So He will make you lift the sword and cut and destroy those anarthas. He Himself will do only if we open our heart. For us to open our heart, we need to have gratitude, and for developing gratitude, these kind of special mercy, those events where you get those special mercy, that will help you to open up your heart and receive the mercy of the Lord and allow the name of the Lord, allow Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, allow the devotees association to come through and purify us, and let that create the dissolution of the material desires in our heart. So I'll stop there and see if there are any corrections, questions related to what we discussed today. Or if someone wants to share some incident, question.
Thank you for such a nice class.
It's all Prabhupada's mercy.
I was listening initially online, and initially you were talking about Krishna praying briefly.
Yes, Mother.
It occurs to me, as you were saying, it has to actually come from, it's not only something that we achieve, but it's moreover actual.
Bestowed.
It's given by Krishna.
Yeah.
So, are you going to discuss that anymore?
Okay. Okay. The idea of love of God being bestowed rather than being achieved. Yes, here the verses that we described from the 5th canto, and also that incident that is happening right in Dhruva Maharaja's case, the Lord is bestowing the mercy, and because He gives that, and He's saying that He will give him prema as well. This is based on Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur's purport, the dialogue between the Lord and Dhruva Maharaj. So I'll not only give you kingdom, but I'll also give you Krishna Prem. I would also like to emphasize that even though the Lord is going to bestow you, there must be effort, that initiative, and that strong desire to achieve Krishna Prem also should be there. Because if that is not there, only under the extreme rare cases that the Lord would forcefully give it. But usually we have to go through that process, we have to put effort, endeavor, and follow the guidelines of spiritual master and go through it. And by his mercy and then also by Krishna's mercy, then we get Krishna Prem. So,
yeah. Initially, Lord Chaitanya gives us a taste.
Yes.
Without condition.
Yeah. So that's like the initial push that you get. I would say, just as when we are young, we are getting into spiritual life, we are compared like children. Initially, the mother would go around the child to feed him. But later, as the child grows, he would be asked to at least sit in a place and eat. The same mother wouldn't go running around. I cannot go at this stage and go sit in my mother's lap and say, "Can you feed me?" No. You're grown up, you're meant to... So initially, even though the push is given, this personally I feel that later on you need to pick yourself up, show some maturity, and use that mercy to progress further by putting efforts, because the certain anarthas Krishna will take out, but some of them he will see. If he is still holding on to those desires, he will want us to give it up naturally. So there's a list of anarthas, and I forgot one of them. Krishna will not voluntarily take away. We have to intensely beg, put effort, and then only it gets taken away. I forgot the details. It's in the list of anarthas which Bhaktivedanta Thakur states, and then he gives the remedy of correspondingly each anartha you have to read a particular pastime, and in one of that I've seen that. So it's also initial mercy is given, but then later on we have to work on it. Anybody wants to add to that? Or
Where do we find to find anarthas which we have to read?
I can give you after the end of the class. Yes, ma'am. You had a question?
Well, basically what Mataji said, you were mentioning sadhana and kripa together.
Yes, sadhana and kripa, yeah.
But my question was always more related to the gratitude that you mentioned. Well, first of all, thank you for the very insightful class.
Thank you. Prabhupada's purport.
About the gratitude, how we can develop that constant gratitude, because it's logically what have you explained, it's logic how to improve on what myself and what we practice.
How do we constantly develop and maintain that level of gratitude? Yeah. Keshav Prabhu always mentions, I think he quotes Bhaktivedanta Thakur, that every Ekadasi it's good to reflect and assess ourselves. Where am I? How much have I progressed? How much more I have to grow? Now, I've heard from a personality development guy who's totally materialist, but when he was talking about gratitude, he made a point that you have a journal and start writing down the things that you're grateful about. And that's what I started to do, and that's where I started to reflect on, and I wrote down certain things in my life where the Lord has shown special mercy. So combine that together. So every fortnight on Ekadasi you can sit down, reflect and write down certain things where the Lord has shown special mercy to you. It is a very pleasant experience because it helps you to remember mercy from spiritual master, mercy. Sometimes you may take it for granted because so much mercy is available around us. We may take it for granted, but to make it consistent, every Ekadasi write a journal, or if possible every week, depending on your time permits. In that gratitude journal, put down things that the Lord has shown special mercy. It's a very personal thing. You don't have to reveal to anybody. And that personality development guy, he said, even write a letter to the person to whom you are grateful to, describing how grateful he is. When you're sitting to write, it's just like writing a Vyasa Puja offering. When he said that, I could relate it. Only once in a year we are writing a Vyasa Puja offering to our spiritual master. So it is becoming a big thing in the industry, like for people to be successful and all that, they are emphasizing on the quality of gratitude, even materialists. So why can't we do that? So have even personally write something to the Lord. In that way, you have to put something in words, which means you have to think a lot, and it's a very pleasant experience. It happens not regarding gratitude, but when when Jagannath is sick during Snana Yatra, we see a lot of cards given to the Lord. So we don't have to wait till he becomes sick to show our love and gratitude. It could be periodic as well, where you have a time set for it, and then you're doing some concrete action, reflecting, writing it down, and if possible, taking it further to write a letter or those sort of things. So then it becomes constant. You put it as a reminder, and then you start implementing it. So probably that's something that I felt you can do to constantly maintain that gratitude. Second is to discuss with close friends, where you come together, what is it that we can speak, rather than speaking about how are you, how is the weather, how is your work going. Once we get past all those things, if you're close with somebody, you can ask, what is something that the Lord has shown you? Could you reveal? So then, if they're willing to reveal, you can hear from them, and you can also share with somebody who's very close to you. So in that way, it is one of the loving exchanges where you're revealing the mind. Revealing the mind always has a negative connotation. I have problem, then only I'll go and reveal my mind. So it doesn't have to be, I'm grateful to the Lord and I want to share with somebody. That could also be another way of maintaining it. So now we are doing it together with somebody, so then it's a way of coming together also. Together we are being grateful to the Lord. We're going to discuss about incidents where He is shown special mercy. So like that. Hare Krishna. We'll conclude here. Grantaraj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai. Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai.